Last Friday was my last day working as an employee. Today, Monday, April 18, 2022, is my first official day working for myself. So now I'm going to be helping wine brands grow their business using digital marketing, everything from their website, SEO, content marketing, email marketing and optimization, e-commerce, and also paid advertising and some media, filming and drone footage as well. Why did I decide to just quit my job and do this now? Well, this started a little over 3 years ago, back in January 2019. Before I moved to Austin, I was living in Puerto Rico at the time, and I made a list of things that interested me, where I could create a career where I would, keep working for the rest of my life. And among those things, wine was there, one of them. And I thought about wine. I did some research, and it's like wine has been there forever. It's in the Bible. It's part of ancient culture, and it's still very relevant today. So I said to myself, this seems like a lifelong path and a good industry where I can create a career, and wine is going to be there forever. Now, part of my research, I discovered that millennials were not consuming wine as much as other generations. In fact, brands were, figuring out how to, get their message to millennials, get them to, consume more wine and make it part of their lives. And that piqued my interest. One of the things that I read was an article by Rob McMillan of Silicon Valley Bank. It was precisely on this topic, and it was very interesting. And I commented, a few things on that article, and I received a few replies, including one from Barbara Lecuona from Siboney Cellars here in Texas in Dripping Springs, and she was very sweet, a very kind, generous person, and she even invited me to go to their winery if I ever visited Texas. So specifically, the Texas industry, caught my attention because it's not as popular as other wine regions in the world and in the U.S. as in California. But it's definitely a wine region that's been growing. And as a matter of fact, since I've moved here, the amount of wineries and wine businesses have doubled in 3 years. So it's really, really booming. And I think it's a good time to be in this industry, especially with the people. People are so warm and real and supportive. Really, just a ton of amazing people that I've got to know and work with. So this kind of made me, realize that the Texas wine industry was a good place to be, learn and to grow with it as well. And that's what when I decided to find a job here in Austin and try to continue learning about the Texas wine industry firsthand. And also, my wife Michelle has family here in Austin, so it felt like a no-brainer to pick this place to be close to the wine industry. Also, her parents visit a few times a year. Now, fast forward to December 2021, Michelle and I went through a life-changing experience. Right, we learned that we were going to have a baby, and unfortunately, on that same day, we also learned that it was not a viable pregnancy. So it was just a roller coaster of emotions. And specifically, when I received the paper that talked about burial options, that's when it hit me, and I was like, "Wow, a life, a life here was lost." Uh, and it really made me change my perspective on life a little bit. Life is short, life is very delicate. What am I spending my time and my energy and my resources in? We received exceptional medical attention as well as amazing support from family and friends. I decided that it was time to change, make a shift in my career. And what happened in December 2021, in my family, made us really think about our goals as a family, our time. How do we use our time? it felt like a right time to launch into this adventure, right, of working for myself. And I had also validated a few things in the market, as well as proved that customers are willing to pay for a high quality service because they were being underserved. Also, thinking back on people that I've met in the industry that have been very supportive, that made me, jump into it. So here I am, day one on this adventure. So if you want to keep up to date with what I'm doing, just follow me. I'll be providing, marketing tips specifically for the wine industry. I'll also be documenting things that I'm doing with my business, because it's basically, starting now. And I'll be filming, events and behind the scenes of the work that I'm doing as well to share it with you guys. So leave a comment below if you have any advice for me. If you know people in the wine industry, feel free to pass my info along as I expand my network and continue to grow with this booming wine industry as well. So see you on the next one.